So good morning, good afternoon, good evening, traders, wherever you are in the world. Victorfx here. In today's video, we're going to be looking at the best smart money strategy and for scalping, okay, and then steps to get into a trade. Now, in today's video, we're going to be covering how to monitor structure to find a good impulse, okay. We're going to be looking at how to mark out supply and demand zones, how to get good entries, okay, those sniper entries, and then at the end of the day, you should be able to take home a strategy which could be able to test for 30 days and see if you're profitable or not. So just go ahead and subscribe to this channel, and I look forward to working with you. I look forward to enlightening you on this Forex journey. So first of all, we're looking at a bearish market here. So imagine you're already on a bearish market. Okay, so market has been trending lower and lower, so low, and created a low this way. Now this green box here is the impulse. So you can see the impulse down, sorry, that was marked out wrongly. So this move down here is what the impulse on the market. So this is the impulse of the market, and then this is what the supply zone. So if you see a market that is very bearish and you've broken a new low, you should be expecting it to come up into a new supply zone in order to push what lower and lower and what lower. So impulse, and this is the SND, and then you have to confirm that zone. So you don't just place a sell limit off of this place directly. You have to what confirm that zone, make sure the zone is going to hold by going on lower time frames, and at the end of the day you take your what marvelous trades. Now if the reverse is the case and you're looking for a buy, now imagine your market has already been bullish for a long period of time. So you get a high, a low, a high, a low, a high. So this is what the impulse. So you can see that is marked out correctly. The green box out for the impulse, and then this is what the supply and demand zone. You have to look for a supply and demand zone, okay? So we're going to look at examples of that on the live trading. So you just stay tuned, and then you have to confirm that zone to make sure that the price is about to change what's bullish before you enter into what and buy. It's simple. You don't have to complicate anything, and you just have to stick to your strategy. Now we're going to jump into the charts right now, and you can see a live example of that. Now you can look at EU, and you have to first of all make sure you know that the market is bullish, is bearish, okay, before you get into a trade. For example, if you're in a bullish market, make sure you know your market is bullish and it's not just ranging, okay. So you can look at EU right now. If I go on the 1 hour chart, you can clearly see that we just tapped into a supply zone here. Now this doesn't mean maybe you watch this channel and you discover price did not run till the low. We can see catch phenomenal moves. I personally caught phenomenal moves this week, and it doesn't just mean that it's just gonna run, okay. Sometimes you might get into a supply zone, it just gives you a little retracement and you pull back. Nobody really knows what price is gonna do from start to finish, okay. So nobody should deceive you, but we know we're bearish and we'll be better off taking bearish moves. It might come up here and go lower, we don't care about that. So first of all, we discover price is bearish on the 1 hour chart. Now from 1 hour I go lower to the 1 minute chart, so you can clearly see a defined structure right here. Okay, let me exit, let me delete that and come back. Okay, so you can clearly see the structure that has been presented to us. I personally missed a sell from up here, this zone right here. I missed a sell from there, but it happens all the time in trading. You won't always get the nice pullback. You guys don't have to worry about everything that's happening here, the buys and the sells, whatever. It doesn't really matter. Now for example, if you're in this chart and you can clearly see on any strategy, you can clearly see that we are bearish. We are looking for lower prices. Now a lot of people will be looking at, okay, I'm going to look for a buy to get into this supply zone. Now that is not going to work. If you try to get the buy, you end up getting what? Liquidated. So personally, I'll take the last impulse, which is this zone right here. That's the last impulse, that's your last supply zone, and then we're going to play price and see if price gets tapped into there. Okay, it's going up. Nope, it doesn't get tapped into it. Now you can clearly see that price has not tapped into that zone. Now what do? Do we FOMO in and say, okay, let's sell it right now, let's sell this market right now? Do we do that? No, because if you do that, you end up what? Going to shit. So the best step to do is to what? Mark out what? The next, you mark out the next supply zone, which is this zone right here. Okay, so what do? Remember the steps. You get an impulse. So this is your impulse. We could draw this out here, and the box is already green, so let's just make this one no need. You just get your impulse. So this is the push down and this is the supply zone right here. Simple as ABC. So the next thing you're going to do is you allow price to reach back into it. If price does not reach back into it, you do what? You stay out of it. You don't have to force anything. You don't have to force it at all. If price doesn't get back there, you leave the price to go away. So clearly you can see price is reaching back into it. And if I go on a lower time frame, let's say we'll go to the 5 seconds time frame. Okay, you should have been on the 5 second time frame anyway. I'm looking for this to get back there. And the 5-second time frame, you can see a lot of sellers might have come into this zone right here trying to sell the market. And then if you watch my liquidity video, you will understand that they were all used as liquidity by the market, and the market is still pushing back into this zone, most likely going to go where? Lower. Okay, so we're going to follow this price and see where the market leads us. So if we keep playing price, price has finally tapped into our zone. Does it give us anything tangible? This is the 5 seconds. Okay, that you go from lower time frame. I use the 1 minute to draw my supply and demand zone. I use the 5 seconds to confirm. So it's not like a time frame something. If you use a higher time frame, use a lower time frame to confirm, and I'm going to give an in-depth video on how to do that properly. Okay, so if I keep playing this price, you can clearly see now this first zone is no longer needed, so I'm going to delete it. So you can clearly see it just looks as if it gets liquidated, but at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. You get to know why soon when I continue confirming this. Okay, so first of all, we get a break of structure. Now remember, if you follow the structure carefully, you can clearly see that we'll get what? A high, a low, and then what? A high, a low, and a high. And you can clearly see that this low, not that. You can clearly see that this low here has been broken. Okay, is that enough confirmation for me? I'll just watch price more. No need to rush into any trade. So right now, you can clearly see the break of this structure right here, and I am much more concerned. Yes, it breaks correctly. I'm much more concerned with taking a sell on this market right now. So I'm going to mark out the last supply and demand zone. It doesn't mean that particular zone is going to hold. Okay, so we'll go back to the 1 second. That will go lower. Okay, don't get yourself confused. We're going to be doing that a lot in this channel. This is everything that this channel is going to be about. So we don't really teach multiple 1,000 different strategies. We end up executing the same type of strategy over and over again. So price relatively just breaks down once more. Am I going to chase a trade? No, I'm not going to chase any trade. You can see we are getting back into our juicy spots. Do we execute a trade immediately? No. Why should we do that? Okay, so you can clearly see price coming back into that new zone. I'm going to change the color of that zone so no one gets confused. Let's make it a red. Okay, don't get confused. If you get confused, watch the video 100 times and then wrap your head around it. You can do it on any time frame. Okay, so clearly you can see that zone did not hold. So a lot of traders would have put a stop loss, a sell limit there, and they would have been liquidated, and they'll start shouting, oh, why did I get liquidated? Why this? Why that? Is that us? No. We look at the trade. Now, if I look at this structure, I am already getting discouraged for looking for a sell. But at the end of the day, this could just be a liquidation, okay? It could just be a liquidation. And then where is our next low? Look at the low here. I'm looking for that low, Control Z. I'm looking for that low to be run like this. Okay, if that low gets run, I'm getting in a sell. So just accept that, okay, that is liquidation, and then, okay. Now you can clearly see that the market, first of all, don't get confused because I'm on the 1 second time frame. The market, first of all, came down here to liquidate this little pullback, and then what? Breaks down once more. But all these breaks are not really important for us, okay? It just came down and break, and this was a proper break which I was looking for with impulse and showing us the intention of the market, okay? Now, normally I wouldn't take a trade like this because it is not going to be that nice of a risk to reward due to the largeness of the stop loss. This is a 3.1 pip stop loss. I'm usually used to lower types of stop loss, and then once the market presents this to us, it is telling us, nice, you are getting what? You are now in a trade. So immediately it breaks that. Now normally sometimes the price is going to pull back to our zone this way before it goes down, but in this case I doubt if it's going to do that. And normally I'm teaching in hindsight, so a lot of people are going to be like, oh, hindsight trader. It doesn't matter, we'll do this live, and you can join my Telegram and you can see how we do that. We bisect that and we do it live. So once the market has done this, I mean, with this little move here, we already break even on this trade. We just let it run. We let it run. Okay, I'm going to go back to the 5 seconds time frame so that this can happen a little bit faster. We know if we get a break even, if we get a loss, and then we'll move on to the next thing on the agenda. Okay, so we are going to be looking at this price action that is happening here. We are in on the trade. We are already break even. So remember, if it comes back to entry, we are going to take a loss on. We are going to take a break even on this. Okay, so the price keeps playing. Beautiful. So it's going down. Now there's one thing I'm going to also teach on this channel, which is going to be devil's advocate. So looking at this whole move, looking at this whole up move, okay, leave any question if you get confused along the way. I am going to look at this zone as my devil's advocate position. Why? Because it was the last supply and demand zone left before this market formed this stuff, and it's also looking as if this is a break of structure. But due to our understanding of the bearishness of price, we know that there could be multiple what do they call it, grab of liquidity. So there could be multiple grab of liquidity in the market, and we're thinking that, oh, it's a break of structure, and so on and so forth. So clearly you could basically see that price is what, bearish. So once it gets to this zone, I'm going to look at what price is doing there, so in order to know if should I close my trade or can I hold it open. So clearly it has meets that zone. Normally we need to target our liquidity zone, which is this point right here, liquidity zone. We want price to run that zone. That would be your final take profit. If this zone does not reject price, if it does too much rejection, I might close my price, I might take a partial and watch what market does. But in this case, I mean, okay, what happens? Do we meet our take profit? Our take profit should be down here. Do we hit our take profit? I'm curious actually. You can clearly see, normally I might have taken a partial here before price dropped finally, because I don't really want stories. Okay, it's just a management trick. So now that you've gotten a winning trade using this concept, I believe you understood what I did here. If you didn't understand, play back the price. Okay, watch what I did. This is 99% of what I do every day that I wake up to trade, and I either get a loss, a break even, or a partial. So once I get this, I'm going to go back on a higher time frame. Okay, so I'm going to do this multiple times, so you don't think it's lock. Okay, no, you don't think it's lock, so you see how it works. Okay, so you clearly see an impulse. So I'm going to play price now. Let's play price and see what happens next. Okay, you can see clearly price went back. Now this is a Friday. Normally I would like to leave my trades to run a lot, but this is a Friday. I wouldn't like to hold any trade, especially not over the weekend. You have to be at an optimal point in the market in order to be able to hold a trade. So clearly you can see the market went up. A lot of people will be calling this a break of structure. Once more, this can be an absorption. It didn't really displace, it didn't really show us, oh, I'm going to spend time on this bullish side, I'm going to spend time here and tell us, oh, we are bullish. Nope, it didn't do that. So at the end of the day, the price was just not really giving us anything too important. So if we play price, I wouldn't like to be involved on anything right now. Okay, I play price more. I play price some more. Okay, it's looking bullish. It's looking bearish still. Okay, but let's see what happens. If it does give us anything important, we have not gotten anything important. Okay, so if the price breaks, how did I do that? Okay, so if the price breaks this high this way, I will be looking for a buy. So let's just play price and see. We play price. Okay, it just didn't do that for us, and then keep playing price and see what happens. Oh, now you can see clearly what price is doing. Instead of breaking that high, you can now see price introducing a bearish trend, telling you what's more, hey, I'm still bearish, man. You can see this break of structure here, this break of structure here. Let's keep playing price. Yeah, and from this zone, this point, I already know that price is going to be bearish. To do what? Take out all this liquidity down here, because price has been bearish and it's giving us more impulses to be bearish. So I will be happier to try to confirm these zones. So first of all, I'm going to take the last supply zone right here, and I'm going to be looking at this other supply zone right here. If those two fail, then most likely maybe the price action is going to be okay, it has already gotten back to our first zone. We'll try to confirm it. You see, I jumped from the 1 minute, now I'm on the 5 seconds chart time frame. Okay, you can clearly see there's a break of structure right here. A break of structure, that was the low holding the high. So I might be looking at this stuff right here for an entry. We could change the color of that to whatever. Okay, I'm going to go on the 1 second and watch what price does on that particular zone. So once I play price, we play price. If it doesn't get back there, I don't get an entry. Okay, it gets back there. Okay, what are you doing now? Trading view is getting slow. I hate this. Okay, it hasn't broken anything. As you can see, it's not breaking anything, hasn't done anything important, and our zone has been invalidated. Okay, so we could just close this out, play price, and still see what happens at the end of the day. Okay, now I'm going to go back to the 5 seconds, because our zone that we're confirming on the 1 second was no longer valid. So we're going to be looking at what the overall zone, which was up here. So I'm gonna play price still. The overall zone. Okay, that was fast. So clearly you can see a break here, the break of this low, and then you can clearly see the break of this low right here. So I might be looking for confirmation up here if it comes back immediately, but if it just runs, I'm not going to be looking at that. So it runs. Nope, doesn't give us an entry. And this is what you can face daily when you're trading on the forex market. You can clearly see I would still want to confirm that zone. Actually, let's just see if we can get it confirmed out of there. We look at this zone. This was the break of structure right here. This stuff right here is the break of structure, and then if we play price, you're gonna see okay, play. Oh shit, we don't get an entry. So all this would delete. Did this ever exist? No. Is price bullish? No. Price is still bearish until we get proven otherwise. We get shown something substantial, something beautiful, and then we look for what entries. That's why one good thing about confirming your zones in this forex market. So you can see the next red zone, which was drawn out. Price has gotten price has gotten into that zone, and then clearly you could see. Let's play price. Okay, I like what I'm nice. So you can clearly see a displacement in price, okay, like a break of structure. If we are marking out this structure, you would have been marking out as what? High, draw, my friend. High, low, shit. You can see a high, a low, a high, a low, a high. So you can see this structure breaking multiple lows. 1, 2, 3. And this is the kind of structure I like to look at, and I love to see this kind of displacement. It's called displacement. I'm going to make a video on that. Keep watching. So we'll just draw out our zone, which we want to confirm to go what? Short on the 1 second time frame. So now we've drawn out a blue zone, which we need price to meet. Now we see price playing up. Is there anything here you want to look at? No. Price is going higher. Okay, I see a break. Let me draw out that break so you don't get confused. Sorry, this is the second time frame. You just have to get used to it a little bit. Okay, I'm not seeing anything. I'm not seeing nothing for now. Keep playing price. Okay, so you can see that zone. It looks as if the zone has been liquidated, but in this case there are still other supply zones ahead of it. So you could easily say, okay, you'll be looking at this supply zone at the end of the day. Price doesn't actually have to tap into it, but if it does, it's going to be phenomenal. Now you can clearly see what price did right here. What did it do? An impulsive break. Okay, so clearly you have been seeing bullish. It tried one more time, but it now turned bearish. So we'll play back price once more. Now you can see it is trying to give us a pullback. So personally, I would love to enter off of this break. If it breaks this structure, I would enter off of it because it has formed a new supply and demand zone, and I would love to see it carry price lower. If it does, if it doesn't do that, it give us a break even, and then we'll continue with price. So I'm going to play price. Okay. Oh, we got tapped in my chest. It's just part of trading. It happens. If we get a loss, it happens. Okay, cool down. Let's relax now. Now for a normal trade like this, you can see the trade is 1.1 pip. I would like to be aiming for a 1 to 10 risk to reward because it's 1 pip. Else if it was some bigger stop loss, I wouldn't be able to do that. Okay, so once I drag this thing down 1 to 10, it's around this zone. So I necessarily don't have to wait for it to come down and break the low before I take my first partial. That's why getting in a good risk to reward is very, very optimal, and it's very sweet for the trader who is executing it. So you see that we'll put it on the 1 to 10. Have we broken even yet? No, we have not yet broken even. So we'll play price some more. Now if it breaks the low, we break even. At this point right now, we are broken even on this trade, and we are running risk free with our hands with our hearts in our hands. I'm thinking of what's gonna happen. So I'm gonna play this price. Does it hit my TP? Oh shit, am I gonna close? No. I'm holding. Am I gonna get TP'd? Oh shit, am I gonna get TP'd? Now for you guys that were not here, I actually took this trade on Friday. It was a very nice trade. I closed at the 1 to 10 because it was Friday, and I really don't want to hold over the weekend and all those spread stuff and weekend holding fees. So I believe it hit a 1 to 10. Just playing with us, yes, Papa. So it hit a 1 to 10. Just remember, we just did something very, very spectacular here. If you notice, we were just confirming that price was what? Bearish, bearish, bearish. And imagine this zone did not hold. It's really not going to affect us at all. We're just going to let price run away from us. So that's another important thing about you confirming your zones. No matter the strategy you're using, you should be confirming each zone that you're using to trade, and then looking forward to what you're going to do next. Now you can clearly see the last structure, why I didn't the last trade we took, why I didn't really look at this zone here for selling, and it would have worked, okay, was because of it really didn't break it didn't give me a good break. But coming to this next zone, if we play price, you can clearly see it took that low. So immediately once this happens, like a dumb person, like you don't really have to think too much when you're trading, I'm going to mark out this next supply and demand zone, okay? That will be my next place for confirmation, and that will be the last confirmation before we leave this call. So price hasn't gotten there. What do? I sit down. I can even set an alert. You can't do it on a back tested market. So I can even set an alert there and be waiting for price to get into that zone in order to see the kind of trades and I'll be able to take. So once I play price down, play price, 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 play price. Oh, let's just let it play. And we could even go on like the 30 seconds. I believe it got up there. I don't know. I wasn't looking at the market at this point. After taking my 1 to 10, I was just like, oh shit, market, you can do whatever you want. Okay, even made a new low. Does that matter? No. You might even be looking for confirmations here, and you can clearly see how impulsive it was. There was no confirmation there. No. We'll play price. Perfect. We'll go back into that zone. So what do we do right now? Instead of looking at this 1 minute zone, remember the impulse is where? This is the impulse which made a new low. This is what the supply and demand zone, and I can go down to the 5 seconds time frame right now to look for what I'm going to do with my life. Okay, so at this point, do I see anything? No. You can clearly see price was what going higher, made a little bit of break of structure, but at the end of the day reversed back. So I'm not going to use that. If we play price a little bit more, yes, that's what I'm looking for. I like that impulsive break. Okay, so I would clearly be looking at this supply zone right here to sell from, and I'm going down to the 1 second time frame. Since I love that break of structure, so when I go, if it doesn't get back up there, then sadly this video will not be having a confirmation. Okay, so you can clearly see a demand zone forming here. If I get a double break of that demand zone, I'll go into a sell. Else, okay, that doesn't happen. It doesn't happen, so we don't really get that. So we'll play price a little bit more. Play price, play price. Yes, baby, we're back into that zone now. Angry birds, you keep doing this shit to me. Don't pop up. So once I play this, nice, you could clearly see this low was trying to form a high, but it's not really that. It's not something I'm too proud about. Clearly there was some sort of rejection right here, a down move before this up move. It got broken. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, if I get a break of this, I'm going to be entering this trade right here. Okay, you can clearly see how impulsive that got broken. Normally some impulsive moves just scare me, because once they go impulsive, they might just give you a break even immediately. They might just, like, you could see price do something like this, down, stop loss. It happens a lot, but as a trader, you need to hone those emotions. You know you're playing you're executing your edge, and your edge should hold in the long term. So we aim for low. Okay, how many pips is this? 0.9 pip. Shit, I will normally not be executing that. I will want to make it 1 pip, but for the sake of backtesting, we can do that 1 to 10. Oh shit, let's leave it that way. So now we look for a break even. If we get a break even, do we get that? So we'll play price breaks down. Okay, baby, please. Nice. So these are the emotions you have to face when you're trading, and you gotta take a loss. Imagine we just got a +10 here. I didn't write it down, but you know you had a +10 here. So what is a -1 to a +10? I mean, it doesn't make that much of a sense. Sometimes you might get a -1 7 times, then you know it's actually a big deal when you deal with spreads and losses and so on and so forth. Break evens are not even break evens. You gotta take a minus 0.5 on break evens, so on and so forth. So if I play this price, we're aiming for a 1 to 10 right now. I'll be break even right now because of, I'm going to give you my rules for break even. This is a supply zone. It broke down, so I don't expect price to even come ahead of this, but I'm not going to put my stop loss there. I'm just going to leave my stop loss up here at break even. If we get a break even, it is what it is. It happens. So clearly price was just melting. It came coming up. Do we get a break even? You can see how close that was. That was really close. Really close. And on some brokers, if you don't factor spread, this is gonna take you out. But on my broker, I use 8 cap. I don't really get that. I don't really get those kind of problems. So we'll just let price run. Normally, if I had a slow retracing market, and it's starting to hang now, shit. If I had a slow retracing market that gave me proper breaks of structure, I'll be out. But all these rallies high, I just let it do its thing. I mean, it's trading. Nothing is guaranteed. Risk only what you are willing to lose in the market. So you can clearly see we've caught 3 beautiful trades just by following this concept, and not by saying, okay, I'm gonna look at this RSI, or I'm gonna look at this candlestick, whatever, so on, and whatever you guys are trading. So next up, if you see a break of this zone right here, what are you gonna do? You mark up the next supply zone and you keep doing that till it stops working. Okay, or you can also zoom out on your higher time frame to know your next place. Okay, sometimes when this market does this, it just continues to go lower and lower and lower and lower. But this was a Friday, so you don't have to blame the market. So you can see the supply zone marked out. Price, you might have gotten an entry, you might not have gotten an entry, you might have getting a break, even a loss, whatever. If the market does deliver, you enjoy that delivery. If it doesn't deliver, just like as it's doing now, you just have to stay out of it and know that, oh, this is not my own setup, this is not what's gonna work for me. Okay, so I'm gonna stay out of it. So hopefully you got some value from this video. If I was too fast, let me know. If I was too slow, speed it up. If I was too fast, slow it down. YouTube has some stuff there that can help you to slow down or speed up a video at the end of the day. So hopefully you got some interest, you got some understanding from this video. And the next video I'm going to be making is about devil's advocate position, just like what I showed you from this red zone here. I didn't do it for these other zones because I was really trying to wrap up things.